Hey, I'm Olong, and this is my Shadow of the Erdtree DLC playthrough video 0.
Hey!
I'm calling this video 0 because there's not actually any Shadow of the Erdtree content in this video. This is more about my preparation for the DLC and a little bit about me and what I hope the video series to be. So to get ready for the DLC, I hopped into a character a couple weeks ago. I haven't really played a lot of Elden Ring the last year or so, so this character had already existed, and I think was really only past Godric. I had gone through Liurnia and out through Caelid and that kind of thing just to go ahead and get early weapon upgrades, but I still needed to go back and kill Renala, kill Radahn, etc. So the character I hopped into had been based on Blackhand from World of Warcraft. So I made like a gray guy and made him bald and put a tattoo on his face that made it look like he had orc teeth. And I was using a brick hammer with Flaming Strike. Granted, I'm talking about Blackhand from like the Warlords of Draenor expansion. So that was the character build. It was a strength build that was using some faith so that I could use some fire incantations. So hopped into that character, and at some point realized I wanted more flexibility in my build. I wanted to be able to use various damage affinities other than fire, as well as more weapons than what my build was limiting me to. That way, going into the DLC, I could try out a wider variety of things. For that reason, I swapped to a quality build. Easy enough, I switched the character theme from Blackhand just to my hunter for a while. So I just changed his skin to green, swapped him over to a quality build, and when looking at weapons, the dismounter caught my eye and is what I like the most from the options available. A spear would have made sense to fit the hunter theme, but dismounter was close enough, and it being a curved greatsword, it really fit the kind of weapon that I like to use. I typically use greatswords. I like their reach, and I like their ability to poise break enemies. I think poise break is very important for clearing regular game areas so that you can just being able to R1 spam through enemies just out in open areas helps a lot, I feel, as well as being able to occasionally stun and get a crit on enemies and bosses helps a lot. So curved greatsword was what I ended up going with, and dismounter fit the bill. So that's what I'm rocking. I'm swapping around my Ashes of War, like my weapon arts and stuff, depending upon the scenario. Often going between poison, lightning, blood, fire, frost, just depending upon what the current game content I'm up against is. Also, I have a black bow plus 10, slot barrage in there so I can rack up some damage affinities from range. Also, when clearing normal areas, I find it very useful to be able to aggro enemies from range, so that way you don't always have to run in and fight multiple enemies at the same time. Survival hunters currently use wildfire bombs in WoW, so I'll also be trying to make use of throwing pots with a character build. When using Spirit Ashes, I do have a Stormhawk Dean and a Lone Wolf Spirit Ashes ready to go. If there's a scenario where I feel like I want to use Spirit Ashes, it makes sense for me to summon a beast as a hunter from WoW, so I have those on hand. I have those on hand ready to go. So that's about the character build. Where I hopped in, I just set out to go pretty much clear everything in the base game. I wanted to generally just kill every boss and collect most all the unique items. I don't think I got literally 100% of everything in terms of items, but I got reasonably close. I know I must be missing something because I don't have a recipe for crafting poison grease, so I've missed a cookbook somewhere. So I might go look that up and see if I can go get that. But in general, to my knowledge, I did kill all the bosses. When I hopped in, I think I had to go kill... I think I killed Renala and then Radahn. While clearing those areas, afterwards I went back, used a written guide to make sure I had kind of collected everything. I mean, there were even some things I don't remember doing in my first playthrough. Greyol's Dragon Barrow. I don't really remember killing Greyol in my first playthrough. Same thing with when I ended up like in Farum Azula. I completely missed Placidusax. I knew he existed, but I missed the entrance to Placidusax in my first playthrough. So I hadn't actually killed Placidusax until this playthrough. I had accepted Frenzied Flame, because Hayata was just calling to me. Like, she reminded me a lot of a Dark Souls 3 Firekeeper, and I couldn't resist. But I ended up doing a 180 on that decision, so I made sure to do Millicent's questline to get the unalloyed gold needle. Went and killed Melania, so I could get Miquella's needle, and that actually didn't take me as long as I thought it would. I wasn't sure if Melania was going to take me... I didn't know... Melania could have taken me a week. I think the first time through it nearly did. But I think I got Melania down in like roughly 40 minutes this time, which was awesome. I was very pleased with that. And yeah, so that way I was able to get Miquella's needle and go cleanse myself of Frenzied Flame in the Placiduous X arena. After that, I did go ahead and I actually got bodied by Gideon a few times. I'm not gonna lie. I think my first time through, I was like doing like a strength build with a Rune's Greatsword, and I just L2 spammed the crap out of everything. So I remember Gideon being like easy the first time through. For whatever reason, this time he kind of bodied me a bit. He was kind of like a glass cannon in some ways. It seemed like, and yeah, he definitely killed me a couple times. And then after that, went to Hoaraloo. Hoaraloo actually took me a little bit. I don't know if it took me an hour, but Hoaraloo actually did take me a bit, but ended up getting him down as well. So with that, I had cleared everything up until Moog, like everything outside of Moog. I'm pretty sure I had killed and collected most all the unique items, had done most of the quest lines, gotten most of the mending runes. To my knowledge, you know, not literally 100%, but reasonably close to 100%. So at this point, I'm ready to go into Moog, and I'm going to transition this video into the Let's Play style. So I wanted to give an introduction to the video series in this manner, but the uploads I'm going to be doing are going to be more of like just me playing the game and talking while I do it. And the idea is that I'm uploading like 30 to 50 minute videos with references to the areas I'm clearing and the items I find and the bosses I kill. That way there's video reference out there for when people need to find something or they want to look something up. You know, if someone wants to know where a given talisman was, or perhaps if they're struggling with a particular enemy or a boss, or they want to see someone clear an area, I'm going to try to have those things tagged and timestamped in my videos. That way there's some reference material for people to look at. I don't think I'm a great Souls player. I think I'm a decent Souls player. I've been playing since I started with Dark Souls 2. When I started Dark Souls 2, I sucked. I mean, there were two paths you could go. You could go to like Hyde's Tower of Flame off the bat, or I think you could go to like, it was like Forest of the Fallen Giants or something like that. There were some very basic foot soldier enemies right at the start of like the Forest of Fallen Giants, and I couldn't even beat those guys. I remember watching some guys walk through or play through, and I can't remember his name. I'm gonna find it so I can send a link or a reference to it. But it wasn't Fighting Cowboy. It was no idea what his name is at this point. But the guy had worked on like a lore book or something with From Software team, or maybe some kind of written guide style item. And just watching him play the game was great. Not only from a learning perspective of how to play the game, but I feel like he did a really good job of almost teaching like how to enjoy and appreciate the game in some ways. Stop, look at each item description, read it, think about how it ties into the lore, walking through areas, looking at the design and the style and architecture and that kind of thing, and really take an appreciation for, hey, if I stand right here on this cliff and I look over there, I see an area that I just was an hour ago, or I see an area that I'm going to end up being in 2 hours. Sometimes you pick out details which give you hints about what's coming, and in general, it's cool to just see how everything ties together, both in like a world design and like a lore style thing, as well as a game design perspective, because sometimes you look over, you take the time to look around and take everything in, and you notice something that gives you a hint. So I'm going to try to emulate that a little bit in the videos that I upload, but in general, I'm going to be doing my own style, and it's just going to be a Let's Play with some timestamps and tags to hopefully provide some reference material for people to be able to find stuff or look something up. I'll try to play well, so that way people don't have to like I don't want someone to like look up a video and they're gonna be like, oh, I don't have trouble clearing this area, and they just look it up and it's just me dying a bunch. So I think I'm decent enough at the game where that's not gonna be the case, but I definitely am gonna like I'll die. I'm definitely gonna die a lot, but I'm gonna do my best to play well, and I'll probably edit around times that I don't play well, so people don't have to sit through that. I won't remove it because I don't want it to look like I'm trying to just make myself look like a good player or anything. Like I'll play some like yakety sax music and speed the video up to like 5x or something, you know, if I die like 3 times in a row, so people don't have to watch the run back or sit there through it. But anyway, I also might upload individual boss videos. At this point, I'm currently going back and I'm going to edit together some footage and start doing uploads. I've killed like I think the first remembrance boss in the DLC, and I studied it well enough while fighting it, and I was taking notes, have like a spreadsheet to where honestly I think I can make a pretty decent boss kind of guide video. So I'm also gonna I think do a little bit of that. But that's kind of about me, about my prep for the DLC, and what I hope to do with this. So I guess without any further ado, I'm going to now transition this video into a Let's Play style thing from when I killed Moog. Just as a heads up, I haven't really uploaded a lot of like recordings like this in recent times, so I'm going to need to be sorting out some issues with my video recording and audio recording setup. So the first videos might have some issues in terms of video and or audio quality. I'll do my best to sort those out, as well as editing. That's going to be a newer thing to me. I mean, I'm just trying to upload gameplay, so I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of editing. This video will be more edited than any of the other ones I think I upload, but just as a general sense, these first ones might have some roughness to them in terms of video and audio quality and that sort of thing, but I'm going to be working on improving those things as I go. So anyway, that's enough of me yapping. I'm going to transition it over to me going to fight Moog, and it'll go from there. So hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, so just to give a little bit of context for this transition, I fought Moog, I have no idea, 20 deaths, 30 deaths, not really certain at this point. I'm going to try to let myself transition into doing the playthrough, but it seems that at this time I wasn't doing a lot of voiceover or talking while playing. So I'm currently thinking about how to switch up what I'm doing. I think my plan at this point is to try to better capitalize on the time you get to attack him during his phase transition. So I think I'm looking at setting up to apply Scarlet Rot to him during that transition. I think it was kind of the idea. So currently I'm going through my inventory and seeing about how I can set up to apply some status effect on him during that transition period that should help me do more damage. I think I'm looking at, I'm probably going to end up with the drawstring rock grease if I recall correctly. But at this point I'm going to back out and let the recording itself play out. am going to step back in here for just a second and say something I've noticed as I begin watching recordings of my gameplay is how much panic rolling I do. Like right here. It's a bit of panic rolling. But in general, I think that's one thing I've noticed that I can definitely improve on. Not just on this boss, but when I was doing the first Remembrance boss in the DLC as well, that was a big thing. But just a lot of panic rolling, so better understanding the boss's moveset and intently rolling at times where I am confident or I am aware that they are actively swinging and attacking. Not just an attack, but to recognize the attack and to roll the appropriate time. I guess we're always going to panic roll a bit because sometimes it's a little bit doubtful about what attack the boss is preparing or is about to swing at you. But less panic rolling in general is one thing I've noticed to this point that I'm going to try to improve on. Nice. And with that, I've completed everything I have set out to do before entering the DLC. So I'm going to cut this off here, and the next video is going to be my Shadow of the Erdtree playthrough video 1. I'm looking forward to getting some of this uploaded. The first few videos will require some editing, and also there might be some video and audio issues, but I'll do my best to improve on those. Thanks very much. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.